Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Galapagos Sailing in less than 15 minutes with me, your host, Gary Armstrong, the G Adventures GPS for Alberta. So I've had a lot of people asking questions about Galapagos, and so I thought I would get around to recording this quick, less than 15-minute introduction to all things G Adventures in the Galapagos. So the Galapagos is part of our marine travel style, and we have a number of different categories in marine. The more that I learn about our marine travel style, the more I realize that we are a little bit different to what most other providers of ocean-based travel provide. We have 4 different categories when it comes to our marine, and I will be doing a less than 15-minute video on each of them, kicking off with Galapagos sailing, then followed by our small ship sailing, one on river adventures, and then finally the jewel in the crown of G Adventures Marine, our G Expedition as well. So to kick it all off, I will start with Galapagos sailing. So Galapagos, it's a province in Ecuador, and it's made up of a series of different islands and island chains. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and just contains an incredible array of natural biodiversity of species, of different birds and animals and plant life that you literally cannot find anywhere else in the world. So all of our trips to Galapagos run in and out of Quito, and the internal flights from Quito to the 2 different airports that are in the Galapagos included in the cost of the trip. We have land-based trips to the Galapagos as well, but I'll just be focusing on our 5 yachts today. And we do have an office in the island as well, so we do have local support. I wanted to just play a quick video because I love putting rich media content into these things, and we have some fantastic videos available on our Vimeo channel, Vimeo. And so this is a quick introduction to the Galapagos.
Just the idea of coming to this location is a life-changing experience.
It gives you memories that you can reflect back on for a lifetime. Down to earth, nitty gritty, the true experience of the place.
This was a moment where I think everybody in our group could look back and say that this changed our lives.
So just a quick taste there of what people will be able to see and do while they're traveling with G Adventures in the Galapagos. We have 5 different yachts of 2 different kind of standards of accommodation. So we have 2 upgraded yachts, the Queen of the Galapagos and the Yolita in the top there, and then 3 standard levels of accommodation on the Havrier 3, the Estrella del Mar, and the Montserrat. So all of our vessels just came out of dry dock in 2016. They are refurbished and have new decor and bedding, and we do kind of monitor and maintain and run all of our vessels here, so they go in and out of dry dock when we deem it necessary, and that tends to be about every 2 years, if not before. So while you're on any of our yachts, all of the snorkeling and wetsuit gear is going to be included. So if the water is a little bit colder, you can get suited up for your wetsuit on board. You don't need to take one with you. There are, all of the beverages, the teas, coffees, non-alcoholic beverages are included in the cost of the ticket as well. And then, of those 5 yachts, all of them are 16 passengers, except for the Montserrat, which is 20 passengers. But I'll get into each individual yacht here right now. So I'll start with the Queen of the Galapagos. She is the only catamaran of the bunch, and so she is a little bit larger. She is upgraded accommodation, and each of the cabins, each of the individual rooms is going to be bigger. Maximum of 16 passengers, and then you have 1 naturalist CEO guide who's going to be on that vessel with you as well. So the upgraded accommodation, I thought I'd throw in some pictures of some of the rooms there. We do have 1 suite available on this vessel as well, 1 cabin suite, which will have a TV and a kind of a lounge area in it as well. 7 main and upper deck cabins, so we have twins, and then we also have the doubles as well, or the queen size beds too. And these are the common areas. So all of the common areas on the Queen of the Galapagos are all shaded, so it's good to get out of the sun. You can see in the bottom right hand corner, if you really are a sun lizard, you're going to be able to try and eke out some extra sun time. In the Galapagos, you're going to be either on the land or in the water a lot of the time, so to have those shaded communal areas is quite nice. And then obviously, as you can see from the pictures, it is a nice vessel to spend some time on. The Yolita is also upgraded accommodation. She's a really beautiful boat. And these 2 vessels, the Yolita and the Queen, are the 2 that are most popular out of Alberta. Again, I thought I'd throw some pictures in there. I apologize for the size of the diagrams, the plans in the bottom left-hand corner. You can find all of these pictures and all of this information on the website under our marine product. If you're searching through the web, just on the top left-hand side above the search bar, you can find travel styles, and then if you click on marine and then dig down into our Galapagos, it's going to have all this information there. So the Yolita is 8 main and upper deck cabins. She's also, a maximum of 16 passengers with your CEO naturalist guide. And then we can push the twins together to make a double if you request it in advance. And again, some of the areas are shaded, and some of them, if you are more of a sun lizard, you're going to have more time with that beautiful top deck there. And then again, the internal spaces are beautiful and, a great place to chat with the other people who are part of your group and share the experiences that you had of that day and kind of just have a good discussion. The Montserrat is the largest as far as passenger number goes for any of our yachts in the Galapagos. So she is 20 passengers, and with that you have 2 naturalist guides. So this is the best ratio of guides to travelers, with 10 to 1 versus 16 to 1. And then all of the cabins are, we do have double as well as twin accommodation. And then the plans there in the bottom left, again, easier to see when you're online, but that's going to give you a layout of the boat itself. And I thought, again, I'd throw some pictures in of the group areas. So the Montserrat is the first that I'm going to show you and run through of our standard style of accommodation. But even in these standard boats, it is still a great way to visit the Galapagos. You can see that the communal areas, again, are well appointed, and people are going to be comfortable on these vessels. They're just not quite to the same standard as what you have with the 2 upgraded vessels, the Yolita and the Queen of the Galapagos. So that is the Montserrat, a few extra people on there and some extra naturalist guides as well. We have the Estrella there. So again, the Estrella is also regular accommodation, and you can see that it's all bunk beds there. So this wouldn't be the vessel that I would recommend for people who maybe have mobility issues. It is a very cost-effective way of seeing the Galapagos. The cabins are a little bit smaller because they are bunk beds, but you're in the Galapagos. How much time are you spending in your cabin? They do all have en suites, as you can see from the plans there in the bottom left. So it's still a relatively comfortable way of cruising around and seeing the Galapagos at a really incredible price point. And then, again, the communal areas are, you're going to be spending some time in them. They are very nice. We've got the purple cushions there that we've got on a few of our vessels to keep things branded as G. So all of these vessels, we do own and operate these vessels. We do manage them, and so they are G branded. All of the people who are getting onto our marine product are all G Adventures travelers. So they've either booked their trip through you, their local agent, or they've booked it, direct with G Adventures. And so there's no other way of getting onto any of these other vessels. These are all G travelers, and it is a G branded experience. And then finally, we have the Javier 3. So again, a slightly smaller vessel, and so it's not the upgraded accommodation. But I mean, if you look at the rooms, it's a really great way to see the Galapagos, and you are going to be traveling in a little bit of style. And as you can see from the plans, again, en suites in all of these different rooms. And then the areas where people are sharing, we've got group dining and you've got group living space, so that people can, like on any G Adventures trip, get to know the other people that they are traveling with and really share those experiences and have that family atmosphere while they're on board. And so the Galapagos themselves, I thought I'd give you a quick breakdown of the different islands. The different vessels will sail to different islands. And so the Galapagos is broken down into the Western Islands, the Central Islands, the Southern Islands, the East Island, and the North Island. And each of our different itineraries from the different vessels will go to a different group of these in a different order. Some vessels will only visit a few, while others will visit different ones. So personally, I know that I really want to go to Isabella Island. So in the Western Islands, you have Isabella and Fernandina. These are the least visited and also the largest of the different islands in the Galapagos. There's lots to do on these islands. You can hike the Sierra Negra volcanoes. It is the most geologically young of the different island chains. And there's some birds on there that they just don't have anywhere else. So if you're looking for flightless cormorants, which is what I want to go to the Galapagos to see, then you have to go to Isabella and Fernandina. And I know that the Queen of the Galapagos does not stop at those islands, so I'm going to have to pick a different vessel for my trip. The Central Islands, you have Santiago, Santa Cruz, and the surrounding archipelago. This is where you're going to find some Galapagos tortoises, the 100-year-old Galapagos tortoises. Pinnacle Rock on Bartolome Island is also one of the most photographed areas of the Galapagos. Lots of places to go snorkeling, white sandy beaches of Santiago. This is where you're going to have the chance to swim with sea lions and different turtles as well. And that's also on Santa Cruz. That's where you're going to find the Charles Darwin Research Station. That's in the southern tip of Santa Cruz. Again, it's something that a lot of our travelers want to see while they're in the islands. Not all of our different marine trips, not all of our different vessels will stop at Santa Cruz, and will stop in the southern part of Santa Cruz to give you the chance to go to the Charles Darwin Research. So if it's something that's important to travelers, just make sure you're digging in a little bit deeper into our itineraries, our full itineraries, to make sure that they are getting what they want from their time in the Galapagos. So Santa Cruz, if you're looking to go to the Darwin Research Station. The southern islands of Floriana and Espanola, these have, again, white sandy beaches and, just beautiful snorkeling areas and wildlife. This is where you're going to find Post Office Bay, where people can, hand deliver mail. And, this is where we also have our Planetara-based homestay project. So for travelers who are traveling over land with us, this is where Planetara is active in the Galapagos. For more information on Planetara and the different projects, please look at my other videos on the introduction to G, where I talk more about G as a social enterprise and how we enable our travelers to give back while they're visiting anywhere that we operate. So the northern island of Genovesa is also known as the Birders Island. You can find the largest colony of red-footed boobies and frigate birds in the world in these islands. They also have sea turtles, reef sharks, and some excellent snorkeling in a sunken volcano crater in the area too. So lots to do in the northern islands. The eastern island is San Cristobal, and this is where you're going to find Kicker Rock, which again is another highly photographed and iconic landmass in the Galapagos. And again, white sandy beaches, snorkeling, and lots of kind of excursions to do on the land as well. So, why the Galapagos? I think you may have heard a little bit. It's just one of those wonderfully singular places that really lends itself to truly unique experiences. You have the opportunity to see some of the most exotic creatures that live in the world and visit them in their natural habitat, get into that crystal clear blue water and swim with sea lions and sea turtles and, just memories that'll last you a lifetime. It is really one of those once-in-a-lifetime destinations. I mean, you also have the opportunity to do a lot of hiking while you're on Isabela Island. They have the Sierra Negra. You can hike to that volcanic chain and feel like you're on a completely different planet with the volcanic landscape that's around you. And so lots of reasons to go to Galapagos. There's a lot of, if you have birders sitting in front of you, people who love birds, they will absolutely love this place. But it's just an area where the abundance of wildlife, not just mammals and animals and birds, but also the fauna and flora of the place, a really great educational trip when you're learning from your CEO, naturalist guide, as you're visiting the different spots. So I just had to throw in a couple of extra pictures of some of the wildlife and stuff that you'll see there. I mean, truly beautiful landscape, beautiful ocean, and fantastic wildlife, and also the people too, right? It's great to get to know and just have that culturally rich, immersive experience when you're visiting a place. So that was the Galapagos in a nutshell. I don't know if anybody knows where this is, but whenever people are talking about the Galapagos, we do have some excellent transfer options from Peru as well. Find it pretty popular. A lot of people who are traveling in Peru, they're hiking the Inca Trail or Lares or Choqquequirao, and they want to extend that holiday a little bit further. After a tough few days of hiking in Peru, to then go and visit the Galapagos is an excellent back-to-back trip. And when you do that, if your Peruvian itinerary is in and out of Lima with G Adventures, then once you return to Lima, if you're doing Peru with us, the connecting flight from Galapagos, the connecting flight from Lima to Quito to get you into the Galapagos is also covered by G Adventures. And we do have some itineraries that are the two compressed. So that is a very rapid run through of Galapagos in less than 15 minutes. I want to thank you all for taking the time to learn a little bit more about G Adventures. If you have any questions, please reach out. Do get in touch. garmstrong@gadventures.com. And then if you look at that first intro to me video that's nestled somewhere on YouTube, then you have all my contact information on there as well. So thank you very much for your time.